Welcome to the Hella Meditated podcast with Joe Clements. Let's go. The way we ruminate on thoughts and feelings and just wanting to be different is it's an addiction in itself, an addiction to somewhere else, something not arriving. This next moment's going to be way better. If I set it up this way, it's going to be way better. It's an addiction, right? And when I speak to addiction, I'm not speaking to substance. I'm speaking to the way we get strung out on not being, always trying to become or not become, whatever it may be. I say we, I'm really speaking to my experience, but I see some head nodding, and I've done enough groups that it's like, okay. And it's cool because it normalizes my experience. Like, because I've felt so alone in this shit so long. We're like, fuck, well, am I the only one that, just wants it to be different? Even just a feeling of different, something more, something less, And, even when life is good, it's fucking beautiful. I just built some steps down to the river right behind my house. And I got to jump in the river today. And I'm still suffering. It's fucking crazy. Felt so good in the river. And I'm like, oh, and I even said it. I'm like, oh, I feel really good right now. And I get out of the river and I'm sitting in the sun for a little bit, and the sun feels good. And it started getting too hot. And I'm like, oh, then I started thinking about all kinds of shit. What am I going to do? Like, jump back in the river. I'm addicted to the river. Not a bad thing. And it's like, but not a bad thing. But my experience, and maybe it's been your experience too, that this practice has taught me to, I guess, retreats for sure, longer retreats, but, face that fear of withdrawal. Because delusion is a hell of a drug. It's all good. We're swimming in it out there, even when we know it is not all good, So maybe this is a place where we can just practice. And my hope is a practice that we can be honest with. It is all good. It feels good. I've been practicing and doing things. And sometimes it's just not all good. And this could be a refuge, a place. A reminder. All it is a reminder. Okay, Thursday night, I'm going to sit with community and practice with community because it's so powerful. But where the real power is when we take it from the seat here to the street. We can arrive. Yeah. It's a practice. It's a training. Meditation is meditation in general, it's difficult because it's so counterintuitive to one. I think our culture for sure is like, okay, just sit and chill for a moment, or not chill, or just notice what's here. And it's like, no, you got to be doing something to achieve something, to feel better, to take this, do that, do this. So counterintuitive. And what I like about mindfulness meditation in particular is it's not just one pointed focus. It's awareness of experience as it is. So we're not dismissing thoughts and emotions. We're not trying to get rid of. And that bummed me out a lot when I first started practicing. I was like, show me how to not feel or think this way, But what I noticed over time is I got to know those feelings and those emotions and those thoughts, really get to know them, but not have a dysfunctional relationship with them as much. Have more of a wise, compassionate relationship with the feelings that arise. But it took some time. Took some time for me to build that relationship. At first, it was like, thoughts are here. Okay, what else is here? And see the sun on that wall. Feel the feet on the floor. You can feel this breath coming in, going. And just doing that gives us moments of reprieve, just a moment. Get out of that matrix just for a moment. Okay, and then we're back up in it. It's another moment when we notice we're in a thought. That's really a moment of awakening. You noticed you're in a thought. Oh, hallelujah. Rather than just like, on the train to wherever, you're in a thought. And that's the time that you get to practice returning. Oh, there's that thought, repetitive thought, the memory, the plan, I got to do, I don't want to do. Oh, cool. Of course that is here. What else is here? The feet, the seat, the sounds, the breath. An anchor. My dad's a fisherman, and when I say anchor, he goes literal anchor. He thinks of an anchor. And when I say anchor, I mean to the feet, not anger, anchor. I was saying anchor one time in a meditation when someone goes, I thought you're saying, like, turn towards the anger the whole time. I'm like, oh, well, if you can. How'd that work? It wasn't bad. Appreciate. But the anchor can be some place to bring our awareness when the mind is drifting off like a ship drifting off to sea. Right? That's my imagery. It's like, oh shit. It's like we throw an anchor down, the feet, the breath, something we hear, something to come back to. That's it. Home base, a refuge, arriving. What's here? A thought is here. This is what really tripped me out, like, because the thought is here. There is a thought, and the thought is a plan. It's pretty specific, right? It's a plan, it's a memory, it's a do, not to do. But the imagery, the story is not what is here. It's somewhere in the past, it's somewhere in the future, right? Does that make sense? So we're living in that when we're in that story. And it's not to dismiss that, because that might have some good information later when you have the capacity to turn towards that. Oh, there is some past stuff that is, we can meet not just the wounds that we have, but the wounded parts of us. That's what's important. That's what's important. The part that was never asked, how are you doing through this? You okay? Or meet the stuff that needs to come with more space, or the stuff that just pops up with more space, like, oh, not just reacting. They say it's like the more we come back to feet, seat, sounds, breath, we start getting some space between stimulus, something that happens, and response. But throughout our day, it's like shit pops off. We're like, oh, fuck. But the more we can, stuff's still going to pop off, yeah? Then we can, I get to meet it. More wisdom, compassion, first and foremost for ourselves. I guess I do like to talk, because I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, what am I going to talk about tonight? And if you really knew me, you would know that, I even I started practicing meditation and mindfulness through the Buddhist tradition. And the one true thing that was truly helpful for me was sitting in community and having like-minded people. That was like the truth of it. Teachings were kind of like, what the fuck are they talking about? But now, like, I kind of, over time, even in my training to be a facilitator, and it was like reading all the books, and I just didn't really feel smart. But until like in my practice, in real time, I would, that's what So it's through experience. And that's what I know to be true now, is that's what the Buddha was pointing to. It's like, this is experiential. Don't write any of my teachings down. I don't want to get in the whole kind of, so back to presenting things, is that I really want to present this stuff in a practical way, a way that, it's like, you don't have to be anything to do this, doesn't take much, and if you want more structure, I don't have a lot of structure in this group in particular. In other groups I do, but in this one I just want to have a place where you can arrive, and maybe have some tools to give, set that container of presence to allow every part of you to arrive, even the parts that are addicted to whatever is out there, to whatever is addicted to not hear, right? Because y'all are hearing me. Are you listening? Maybe be hearing, but there's all kinds of other plans going on right now, right? Anybody wondering if they put money in their meter or anything like that? Good. I think the meter thing is done for the day. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, though. So I don't know why I even got into that tangent. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it can. And on the flip to that, can I respond to that? Because that's one thing, like, I think this is kind of my point too, is I needed that structure. I needed that structure, whether it was for my recovery or for, I needed it. And it gave me the information to open up to other modalities, these other truths. And it's like, oh, okay. So I think by saying that is like, whatever spiritual modality, recovery, whatever it is, you do a lot of stuff. Everybody does self-help stuff. Yeah. Give me a hand if you do some self-help stuff. My people. Yes. Even reading the books, whatever it is. But what I've noticed, and for me too, is I don't have a lot of time to integrate that information, because I'm just trying to put it into play. This place, I would love for it you get to let it settle in. Whatever things you're doing. Some people express some stuff that they did outside of this room that was really helping them, Yes, that's beautiful. And this is a place where let that shit sink in. And if anything, some tools here that you can practice together, bringing your awareness, setting that container, the feet, the seed, mindfulness meditation, I said. And I do refer to Buddha Dharma. I do, because it's a foundational tool for me. And the simplicity of it is this, the foundational tools of bringing your breath, or bringing your awareness to the breath and the body. Foundational tool of expanding to noticing how you are greeting each experience with a wanting and not wanting, or somewhere in between. Even having curiosity, contemplating this mind, and what makes up how we getting so stuck in the stories. Fourth foundation is like pretty broad into that. But I encourage you to read the books. Come here and let it integrate. I do want to read something, and it's back to this this place that was never addicted, because that's what we're arriving to. And that's what this writing is called, the place that was never addicted. And that just that pop. like my attention. I'm like, what? Where's that place? I want to know. Because I've been in recovery for a long time, but I'm strung out on apparently jumping in the river because that was like today. That's my DOC. And this writing's Jeff Foster, one of my, yeah, love this writer, teacher. But he writes, at the heart of every addiction, across the board, is the attempt, let's highlight attempt, to run away from ourselves, to flee our sorrow, self-doubt, shame, fear, and guilt. Yeah? Anybody relate to that so far? There's more. To be somewhere other than where we are. Craving. Suffering is the distractions. Everything. My phone, so strung out. Ugh. Music, so strung out. And he continues to write, meditation then dismantles the core addiction. The addiction to somewhere else, to another moment, to not hear. And we begin to bless the mess of our imperfect humanity with bare attention. Just attention, awareness, simple. Even if it hurts, even if it stings, even if it burns, we stay. Sometimes sitting in the fire of our experience, yeah. This fucking, I've said it before, my mantra, a lot of times I don't do mantras, but this one I do. Fucking ouch. Oh my God, this hurts. It's painful. And we also honor, this is where it flips it. I love this part. And we can learn, I'm going to put that in there, to honor the part of us that doesn't want to stay. We honor the part that wants to run, the part that wants to be a million miles away, the part that wants the drink, the drug, the cigarette, the contact, the excitement, the next high. We do not shame that part either. We see it and bow to it. It is also sacred. It was really freeing to me. And I'll tell you why, is I had a lot of shame about my behaviors. But what I realized is all those behaviors, like I suffered from addiction, and again, always want to escape. And honoring that part, because those parts really just wanted me to feel better, and that's all I knew at the time, right? It's all I fucking knew. It's all I can handle. It's the only thing that fucking worked when it comes to substances, and even, but it's all just fleeting. But that is the same part of me that brought me to mindfulness meditation. It really is. Curiosity. And, it happened because, what brought me is, I was inspired by somebody, read a book, or had a friend, It's how I was inspired to get high, right? Read a book, had a friend, same thing, try this. But this shit lasts, and we can arrive. We can arrive. And there is a place, we can arrive to that place that doesn't experience that craving, Within the craving, It's been my experience. And I still crave. Not exempt. Not exempt. I'm in this human experience. Yeah. I like to call it a human experiment. Because I feel like the one key to this practice is curiosity. Ask questions. Ask yourself questions. Is this thought leading to anywhere that is liberating? I'm really gonna figure that out right now, you know? Right now. So give yourself a little reprieve tonight. If not, if only for tonight, cool. Win. And I feel like just y'all coming through the door, win. You already nailed it. When the thought came into your mind, or the reminder is like, oh yeah, it's Thursday or whatever, I should go to that group. Nailed it. Beautiful. You followed that intuitive, like, meditation sucks, but I don't know. I need to go. There's something there, you know? I don't even know what this meditation is, but there's something. Listen to that. It wants you to feel better. A friend of mine, friend of ours, we were speaking to like wanting to feel better. And I'm like, yeah, unfortunately, we need to learn to feel better to feel better. And that comes with time. But tonight, maybe just a reprieve. Feel it, touch the edges of whatever's here, but come back to something that just feels good enough to rest your awareness. We'll do a guided meditation and I'll guide you all, but you get to do you. You can follow along. Some simple suggestion to bring your awareness back to right here because your mind's going to drift. But it's not about how many times the mind drifts. It's like, what's the quality of returning? Are you judging the mind for thinking, or can you, oh, there's that thought. Let's come back. Maybe you can find some rest or just go right into some rest. Yeah? Sound good? Enough of me. So we'll take a couple-minute stretch, bio break, and I'll ring the bell in about a minute. Find a place to, when you come back, if you want to like set up in the back there, I think you can hear my voice if you want to follow the guidance. There's some blankets, get comfortable. Is that Bob? That- that- Yeah. See how we can. We'll learn this together. We'll fumble around together. Hey, Chris, can you shut that door a little bit, please? I'm not going to ask Heather again. There's no way. They already did it once. Thanks, buddy. All right, y'all. So just finding a posture that feels supportive, good enough, doesn't have to be perfect. And at any time, if you feel like you need to move, you can move, even if you're sitting and feel like you need to stand up, go ahead and stand up. You get tired sometimes and you kind of want to not fall asleep. You can just stand up or allow yourself to rest too. It's okay. So as you find your posture that's sustainable, supportive, it's gently shifting this outward attention awareness inward, noticing what's here now. Maybe there's some thoughts, some feelings, some energy in the mind and the body stirred up from a talk or conversation. That was a moment ago. What's in this moment? Shifting our awareness to how we are experiencing this moment through our senses. Feeling the feet on the floor, body contacting the sea, air contacting the skin, connection, touch. Noticing this breath, just breathing, all on its own. No need to change the way you're breathing. It's just the breath. Does its thing. Curiosity comes of just where we notice the breath coming in, where we notice the breath going out. This breath, this body, effortlessly sitting, laying, breathing. Can you allow yourself just to be held right now? What would that be like? can expand this awareness, different sounds in the room, outside the room. Noticing taste and smell. And yeah, of course, thoughts and emotions are here. Not a mistake. Doesn't mean you're doing this practice wrong. When you notice that thought, that feeling, that is the moment of practice. Practicing letting go, softening, and returning. Back to the feet, seat, the sounds, the breath. And invite the mind and the body to rest. You've arrived. Welcome. And if it's only for a moment before the next thought comes, that's okay. It's another opportunity. And you get to choose. You get to choose where to rest your awareness. Or at least, or you can shift your focus. And if it's a painful thought or memory, plan, validate it out. You don't need to figure it out. Get all tangled up in the why we feel this way. We know why. And truly, it's not asking to be figured out, fixed. It's feeling, maybe it's just asking to be seen and held, gently, lightly. If it's a pleasant thought or a feeling that's arising, acknowledge that too. But watch, and you start craving, clinging. You just acknowledge pleasant thought, pleasant memory, plan, and come back. Feet, the seat, the sounds, the breath. Let that pleasantness sink into the body. Again, not judging the mind, craving, wanting. Course, of course, that's here. Maybe you needed just a gentle reminder. And right now, there's nowhere you need to go. Right now, there's nothing you need to do. Right now, there's no better you need to be or become. Right now, you get to rest on the shore, your direct experience. Feet, seat, sounds, breath. Just as these sounds come and go, thoughts can just fly by like birds in the sky or leaves gently floating down a river. And you get to rest. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, no one to be or become. Waves of emotions rise and pass, just like waves crashing on the ocean. And you get to rest on the shore for your direct experience. Feet, seat, sounds, and breath. You're doing great. Better than you can even imagine. As we rest here, we can notice the mind itself and how it clings and pushes away. Every sound, wanting or not wanting, some kind of preference, opinion. If we let go of those opinions, those preferences, can truly notice this coming and going. One sound into the next, sometimes space in between. This breath coming in, going out. Each breath new, each moment new, different. Only thing that lingers is our stories, our opinions around what is being experienced and wanting it a different way. And there's nothing wrong with that either. The untrained mind, nothing is wrong. These thoughts have this same ephemeral nature of coming and going, arising and passing, if we allow them. Noting, letting go, validating, and returning and softening. Maybe you can even reflect on all the things that you have done to feel better, unskillful or skillful, without shame, just resting in this intuitive knowing that everything you need is right here. Wisdom, compassion, kindness, joy, balance is right here within each breath, within each distraction. What's your relationship to this experience right now? And can you soften a little bit more and rest in this intuitive knowing that you're enough, you belong, that you're worthy, worthy of your attention, worthy of your love. Can you rest in the goodness that is you? Sending some appreciation to yourself for showing up tonight. Appreciation for that intuitive reminder, following that intention to be here, right now. These last few moments before we ring the bell, and even see if you can follow this intuition right now, what the body needs. Body needs to move it a little bit. If it wants to rest, and just hear the bell all the way through. This instinctual that you need right now. Notice where the mind's at. If you want to open the eyes, look around, you can. Or just rest the next few moments and listen to the bell as it rings.
Thanks for listening to the Hella Meditated podcast. Please subscribe, rate, and review. Stay up, stay true, be you.
Yeah.
Yeah.